Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Two questions the brothers were asking. I thought about this. First of all, the brothers were asking that those who rent a property to grow things, a farmer, he grows things, and he's asking that the annual contract with them is that the farmers, whatever they're going to harvest, they're going to buy all of it for, let's say, $10,000. Is this valid? First of all, this is not bayus salaam. Okay, so it doesn't fall under the category of this discussion we have today. Second, this falls under the category of renting. Third, it falls under the category, the way the contract is made, it is bayul gharar. Why it's bayul gharar? Because it says whatever you harvest, what is the amount? There is unspecified. So it is bayul gharar. It is a deceptive contract and it cannot be Islamically valid. This is the answer. And when one of the brothers was asking that what about dates like ajwa dates? If we define, is it going to be valid? What I understand, and I thought about this, about the whole contract, most likely it is inshallah. Because it is a general description. It's a specific description of general product. Dates, like for example, it has to be grown in certain land. So somebody can say, if you say dates, what if dates not grow any part of the world? Right? So that cannot be an argument that we can make. A specific tree, specific bustan, this is something a problem. But in general, this is a very general product. A specific description should be definitely halal. Otherwise, lot of the product that they're selling, for example, Amazon is selling a cell phone of a certain brand, right? So that should be haram too, because now they specified the brand. It has to be, if it is, for example, a iPhone of certain, I don't know what is the latest model you have. 17, whatever. So now say, you say it is i7, now it is a specific, so it is haram. No. It is general. The product is general, the description is specific, this is fine, inshallah. So according to the understanding, what I thought about this, what I understand, verify with the Shaykh, inshallah. And still let me, if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. Now we are at a point where let's say we are confused, we are not seeing it. Is bayus salaam a person selling something he doesn't own? And we answered, no, this is different. And that this is the way this explanation is. And the difference is that bayus salaam does not involve the sale of a specific item, but rather it describe them in liability where one item can substitute for other. Like a kilo of ajwa, it could be from wherever in Medina or wherever, doesn't matter, old, new, it doesn't matter. One thing can substitute the other. Therefore, if someone contracts to deliver a commodity with a specific characteristics that eliminate uncertainty at the time of delivery, they can deliver that commodity with those characteristics at the appointed time from any source, whether from their own farm or from any other farm. I am a farm owner. I give this example. Again give the example. I grow dates. You come and say, I'm going to pay you in advance for 1 kilo of dates. You didn't say my farm. Fine. I can go ahead and take this, and this transaction will be bayus salaam, no problem. But if you say that this is a specific tree or this is a specific farm, this is where the Prophet said, do not do it unless the dates are ripe, unless they are ready to eat, and you measure it so they know exactly what you're getting. Make sense, inshallah? That's a difference. Okay. And the second difference is that salaam involves the sale of a commodity that it is expected to exist at the appointed time. And this makes the probability of its existence at the appointed time strong. Meaning, like at the time of the delivery, it's stronger. And thirdly, if the delivery is not made at the agreed upon time between the seller and the buyer has the option. What are the options? First, he can cancel the contract and take back the money. Second, set a new deadline for delivery. Or third, take something of equivalent value. This is also allowed. For example, I order date, but the brother comes and says, dates are not available, but I have raised him. Of the same price, this is the amount. Allowed for me to take? Allowed for me to take. Allowed for me to at that time substitute. In other words, the salaam contract gives the buyer certain rights and options if the seller fails to deliver, the commodity at the agreed upon time. As for the bay' al-ma'doom, which is what we are now discussing, things that he sold, he didn't own, which is haram, which is prohibited by Islamic law, it involves something whose characteristics are completely unknown, such as someone contracting to buy the produce of a specific land. The land may or may not produce anything. And if it does, the quantity is also unknown. If it does produce, the quantity is unknown. We cannot know what's going to happen in the future. Additionally, in bay' al-ma'doom, the commodity is guaranteed by the buyer as soon as the contract is made. What does it mean? He will explain. If the commodity does not exist, the seller is not obligated to deliver anything, and the price is not refunded. If the commodity exists in the quantity less than what was agreed upon, the buyer has no right to demand the remainder. Okay? And if it exists in a greater quantity, the seller has no right to demand additional payment from the buyer, as we mentioned. I tell you that the harvest of my garden is for you, for $10,000. And how much I'm going to harvest? Let's say 1 ton of rice. And I ended up producing 10 tons of rice. All the rice belongs to you. Because the contract was general, the harvest of my land. So it's unfair for me, the grower and the seller. But now, opposite, the harvest was bad. I didn't harvest anything except 1 grain. So you get 1 grain for all the amount that you paid. So it is going to be unfair for the buyer. So this is what he mentions, that there is a difference between bay' al-ma'doom and bay' al-salam. Bay' al-ma'doom is haram, bay' al-salam is halal. However, he's here talking about a specific type of bay' al-ma'doom. Specific type, which is what? He comes and says the harvest, everything belongs to you. But there are other types of selling, which is you don't own, is what would say his car, his house, that person's store, or the birds which are flying in the sky, or all the fish in the pond, or the slave who ran away. I sell it to you for bay' al-ma'doom. Or the camel which, Astra camel. I say, the camel which ran away, I sell it to you for such and such. So they used to have certain kind of sale, like in the book of the trade, they talk about hablil habala. The Prophet forbade this. What is it? A person would come and say, I will sell you the baby of my camel. My camel, she camel is pregnant. I sell you her baby. When she will grow up and she will have her baby. So the baby is not even born. So they used to sell like this. And people used to buy, by the way. People used to buy do this kind of trades. And why it is not allowed? Because first of all, you don't own it. Second, you cannot guarantee that it will be there. Third, it is bay'ul gharar. It is a contract of deception. Whether you might get a lot, you might get none. It is like a gambling, bay'ul gharar. I want to mention something I forgot. This is in Sahih al-Bukhari. Imam Bukhari has a chapter. He says, very beautiful chapter. He says that ar-rahan fi salam. Ar-rahan fi salam. You know what rahan is? Rahan is basically, what is it called? The proper translation. It is pawn. What is the other term? You know what is it called? Guarantor. A guarantor. Collateral. Guarantor. Yes, pawn. So for example, in a loan, how it works in general, I take $10,000 loan from you. And I'll pay it back in 1 year. This is fine. Contract is fine, no problem. But the loaner wants a guarantee. In case you cannot fail, in case you fail, what will happen to my money? So I say, okay, here is my watch. It's $20,000. It says a guarantor for you. This is called rahan, mortgage. Rahan, mortgage. So Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi, he said, rahan fi salam. Rahan in the salam. And then he brings the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, that the Prophet ﷺ took a sa'a or 2 sa'a of barley from the Yahudi, and he put his what? Helmet as a rahan. Okay, some ulama, they say this has nothing to do with salam. Now the contract that the Prophet made with the Yahudi, What kind of contract? This is bayus salaam? What is it? Huh?
It's like a normal loan, right?
Huh? Bayul Rahan? No. Bayul, this is like Bayul Ajal. Bayul Ajal, like you bought something and you're gonna bought on credit. You bought and you're gonna pay later. That's halal. Absolutely halal. As long as there is no, of course, late payment or any extra payment. What you decide to pay, you pay. But the Prophet ﷺ gave him the Rahan, his mekfar. And here we learn something. This is before the death of the Prophet ﷺ. While he died, this was in mortgage to the Jew. And we know that the Jews declared enmity to Allah's deen from before Muhammad ﷺ. Until the end they fought him. Right? The Prophet never made haram dealing with them. Nowadays people's, you see, focus shifted somewhere else. If you tell them to learn about the religion so that you know what is halal, what is haram, they say, I don't have time and this is not important. Right? And you see the result of that status they have, and they not keep on learning. So when there is a calamity happens, they start jumping up and down for things which has no value. For example, nowadays, and this is not something new, every time they used to be harmful to our Muslim brothers and sisters in Palestine, they used to have a big list of products: toothpaste, toothbrush, Coke, Starbucks, this one and that one, and this prohibited, haram. They used to circulate things haram, prohibited. First of all, you don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to buy Starbucks. I don't want to buy Coke. It's my right. Because it's my money, I don't want to give it to them. Fine. You're absolutely fine with it. But now you want to establish it as a rule for the Muslims, you have to have a proof, brothers. So they have no proof for these things. All the time this happens, they have a list with this, okay. If the Starbucks goes out of business, mathalan, are the people of the Palestine or our brothers and sisters going to be saved? Kalla balla. There's been another one. There'll be, sunburst or moonburst will come out and they're going to support all of the shayateen, what they do. May Allah take care of them. May Allah take care of them. So the Muslims, their focus turned into something else. They buy the house with riba, following the Jewish way. They buy the cars with riba, following the Jewish way. They have credit card in there, and they even pay the gas for their car using the Jewish way. Why? Because they have a fatwa that as long as you pay it back before the payment time, it is halal for you. It is not halal for you. You are a murabi now. So you are a murabi from top to bottom, and then you come and sit and say Coke is haram and Starbucks is haram, and through this, what are you going to bring benefit for the ummah? What are you going to bring? And then on top of that, your methodology is against the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ dealt with the Jews the halal way until he died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wherein there people who would support them, always there were people support them. Sahabat al-Kiram are the best of the supporters of the Prophet ﷺ. But yet with these things he kept, and this is from the hikmah, the wisdom of the Sharia. The Sharia does not come and makes the halal haram. Never do this. Never put yourself in a situation to go and tell somebody this is haram and it is not haram. Never do this, because you're going to make it more difficult on people and your sin will be higher than the people who make the haram halal. Because those who make the haram halal and versus those who make the halal haram, both are changing the rule of Allah. But the one who makes the halal haram, they're making people's life difficult. So this is another sin they're performing. So yes, you can recommend. People say, brother, this money goes to the whatever movement, Zionist movement, this and movement, that movement, and don't you think you should support it, not support it? Okay, fine, this is a discussion. We are absolutely fine in discussing these things. I can agree with you, I might not agree with you. And you should not have any, should not make this a rule of they care for Palestine or they care people of Gaza or they do not care for them. This should not be the litmus test for that. Litmus test is the Sharia. What evidence do you have to come and say this product is haram, that product is haram? I remember when that person from Holland, Dutch, that guy who wrote that, caricature of the Prophet ﷺ with a bomb on his head, and then later on he died in a car crash, whatever, Anyway, so they started, as you know, some of these people, they said, kill him and this and that and all of these things. So these people in the late night show, they were making fun of it. They say, It's good that the Muslims, their mosque is not made of Lego. Huh? It is good that the Muslims, their mosque is not made of it. They're making fun of it. You know what are you going to do? If it's made of Lego, it comes from Holland. You're going to be big trouble. Huh? Sheikh Salem At-Tawil at that time, later on he was here in the masjid, in our masjid, in the old center. And he said, by Allah, I have letter from sisters, they come and said, oh Sheikh, my son cannot drink any milk except a certain product, and it is Dutch product. Is it okay for me? Sheikh, is it halal? Is it halal for me to give milk to my son? This is a question they're asking. Why? Because these people are jabbar. They go and they compel people to say this is haram, this is halal, based upon these kind of things. This is not how you show love to the Prophet ﷺ. This is not how you show. Whereas this same person who is saying kill this person, he maybe doesn't even grow beard, or he doesn't know the ayn of aqidah. The ayn of aqidah he doesn't know. But he goes and he shows his love for the Prophet ﷺ in the wrong way. Understood that they are hard, and we are also hard that this person made fun of the Prophet ﷺ. Understood the emotion. But that emotion cannot translate to this kind of actions which has no basis in the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Whatsoever. So this is something that we learn from this. Now some of the scholars, they came and said that Bukhari, rahmatullahi alayh, they criticized Bukhari like this. They said Bukhari's sha'an is only in hadith. Hadith is the master. But as for fiqh, for example, tafsir or lugha, his sha'an is like the sha'an of any other scholars. I have heard this myself. Very good scholars, mashallah, they say. However, this statement is not correct. They said that Bukhari sometimes brought hadith and put in a chapter that has no connection with the title. So they said, like for this hadith, Aisha radiallahu anha's hadith, the Prophet ﷺ took some barley from a Jew, bought some barley from Jew, and he put his meghfar as a rahan. He brought this evidence as a title for the chapter of what? Rahan fi salam. Rahan fi salam. So they said, okay, where is the salam here? Because this is not bayus salam. The Prophet didn't pay the Jew early to get the product late. Did he? No. He got the product first and he was supposed to pay later. But he put a rahan just to put a guarantor for what he loaned from the Jew. Makes sense, inshallah? So this is bayul ajal. But the correct understanding from this is what Imam Bukhari is basically saying. The Prophet put rahan for bayul ajal, so you can put rahan for bayul asal. This is the fiqh of Bukhari. You see now? Deep. Very deep. But then question is, who is going to put the rahan? The seller or the buyer? In salam, in bayul salam, who puts the rahan? The seller? The buyer.
No, seller.
Seller. Huh?
Because he paid him already.
Who, buyer? Buyer? Buyer puts the rahan?
I said the buyer already paid, so the seller.
Exactly. The seller. Because seller is supposed to give him the product. What if he fails? He is not required to, by the way. The rahan is not required. Rahan is just a satisfaction. And by the way, if somebody insists that this is how I'm going to buy from you, then yes, if you agree with it. If you don't agree with it, don't go with the contract. Khalas, you go your own way. But if you agree, the seller agrees, then he puts a rahan. Said, you know what? If I miss it, then here is a rahan. Now, if the rahan is given, whether it's for bayul ajal and by salam, how do you take care of the rahan? Let's say that I bought from somebody worth a $500 product. And he gave me a rahan which is 1,000. Worth 1,000. The rahan is 1,000. And meaning that the product is $1,000 worth. And he couldn't pay me. He couldn't deliver the product. What should I do with the rahan? Can I keep the rahan fully?
Yes.
Yeah?
You can sell it and make it your money, whatever you want to do.
No, the question is, can I keep the rahan here fully? Fully. The answer is no. I will keep what is due for me. If somebody insists to keep more, then this will be the riba in this contract. This will be the riba for the buyer. Make sense, inshallah? So he paid him 500. He sells his rahan for, let's say, $2,000. He makes $2,000. He keeps 500 and the 1,500 goes back to the seller. Now we are talking about what? Bay' salam. Okay. So now bayus salam, we are going to also discuss something which is very important. Is in our time, what is the benefit of the bayus salam? Bayus salam, we mentioned, example of bayus salam is what? all the internet sales that we do, right? Most of the sellers, they don't have, some of them have warehouse, some of them in the stock, some of them don't even have it. Okay, they just get it from this and that vendor and they just ship it to you. Halal, everything is inshallah halal here, no problem. One of the ways the benefit people can benefit from bayus salam is, let's say that a farmer, he wants to grow his crops, right? And he doesn't have money to invest. So he goes to an investor and he says, I'm going to sell you my crops, which would be the crops, not my crops, crops which would be, let's say, 1 ton of rice. I will sell you 1 ton of rice for $100,000. 1 ton of rice, $100,000. Pay me the money now. I'm going to deliver you the 1 ton of rice in 1 year. He uses this 100,000. He invests in his property to grow the rice. Then he grows the rice and he sells it. Sorry, he grows the rice and he has, let's say, 2 ton of rice or 1.5 ton, and he gives 1 ton. Is this halal or haram? Bayus salam? Okay. Halal or haram? Brother Marwan said halal, because it is bayus salam. Because we have to be careful. This can turn into what? This can turn into riba. This can turn, we'll explain that. This can turn into riba. So we are sometimes walking on a thin line. So when we understand the difference, no problem whatsoever. Actually, what he said is correct. It's bayus salam. Very true. What if the farmer fails to grow 1 ton of rice? He grows half ton of rice. What he has to do? He has to then go and get the other half ton, which he promised, from any other farm, and then deliver it as he promised to the person. This is fine or this is haram? Fine or haram? Absolutely fine. Because his contract is bayus salam. He took the money in advance and he promised, remember, promised to give them 1 ton of rice. He didn't promise from his harvest. Now, if he promises from his harvest, this is what is going to, we are going to run into towards the hima of Allah. See now? We're going to cross the hima of Allah. For example, the farmer comes and says, brother, I don't have money. I need money. And I need to grow rice. And every year I grow 2 tons of rice. So for sure I will have 1 ton of rice. Give me 100,000 now. Once I grow the rice, I will give from here 1 ton to you. This will be a problem. Because you are selling something muayyan, specific. Okay? Not correct. So when we keep it the general way, the bayus salam is, what is the bayus salam? You get in advance the money and you promise to deliver the product at a later time with a specific description of a general product. Make sense, inshallah? Is this clear? So this is one of the ways the people can benefit from bayus salam. The banks, what they do nowadays, they do the same thing. They say that we are going to give you $100,000 and you're going to advance, because they're using the bayus salam as a game, trick. You're going to give us 1 ton of rice after 1.5 years. And then we're going to sell it and make profit, and we're going to get 200,000. Okay? 200,000. That's fine. After 1 year, if the farmer comes and gives them 1 ton of rice, they sell it and they sell it for 300,000, they make $200,000 profit. This is all halal, no problem. But the trick is here. What they do, they say that, you are going to give us 1 ton of rice, but they never receive the 1 ton of rice. They say that you go and sell it. You go and sell it and make 200,000 and give us 200,000 back. Okay? After 1.5 years. So that's what the contract is. So they basically use the bayus salaam as a trick, and they give the farmer what? Basically what happens here? It's a loan. I'm giving 100,000, you're gonna give me 200,000. But all of this inside game, it is already pre-planned. When it is a pre-planned game, this is basically what? It is riba. It is no longer business. Like for example, and this is called bay al-ina. This is called bay al-ina. Bay al-ina is a transaction that looks like business, but actually it is what? Riba. That's why Abdullah ibn Abbas used to say, darahim bi darahim. Silver coin for silver coin, dakhala bainahuma hariran. But what entered in between is basically a piece of silk. So what they used to do? They used to do it different ways. For example, I want loan from him $10, so $100. Okay? No, let's put the opposite. Brother Marwan wants loan from me $100. Okay? But I want to make money of the loan. I want extra. So, but I am shy to say because it will be riba, a'udhu billah, very bad. So I said that okay, I will sell this to you. Let me think. What should it be? If you remember, let me know. What is bay al-ina? One of the ways they've set the trick up. They say that. You got it?
Is the product selling for 100? Get the 100, give you whatever back.
No.
Like for example, this chair, you give him, you tell him, for example, this car, buy from me. This.
Okay, I think I should explain.
He bought it, from you, and he sell it to you.
He bought it from me, so basically, if he bought it from me, I will get the money.
The 100,000, for example, take the 100,000 for the cars,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell, okay, I have this cars. After he bought it, he sent it to you. After he bought it from you, like he took the money. He said, okay, and I bought this car from you for 120.
So if he bought it from me, then he will give me the money. So I think Sheikh, it's opposite.
Yeah.
I buy it from him, so I'm supposed to give him the money. I buy this thing from him for $1,000. I buy it from him, so I have to give him $1,000. Then he sells it back to me in credit for $2,000. So he owes me $2,000 now, but he gets his $1,000 loan, right? But he owes me $2,000, so he pays me $2,000. I make $100,000 of my loan. Make sense, Shalma? So, but the thing is now we have to. This is where I get always confused. Who sells to who? But that's what happens. Okay, one person sells to the other person in cash. So the one who is in need of the loan, he gets the money. Then condition is what in the same contract he has to sell it back to me in credit, right? So he now owes me. No, opposite. I always get confused. Do you understand the point? It's basically using the selling and buying as a trick to earn extra dollar for the loan. I can give the loan, brother, this is the $1,000, pay me back $1,000 when it is 1 year, 2 year, whatever we decide. Okay, but I want to make money out of it. How to make money out of it? Make it look like a transaction. So if you think about it, you can really make sense of the transaction. But this is how they manipulate the transaction. But if the transaction happened, for example, I say to Brother Marwan, he needs, I need money, okay? So I come to Brother Marwan and say, Brother Marwan, I need $5,000 loan. $5,000 loan. So he says that I have a car. I have a car which is $10,000. I will sell it to you for $5,000. Pay attention. Because this is, I got it. He says to me, I sell it to you for $5,000, but actually it is worth more. Okay? I sell it to you on credit. You pay me later on, 1 year, 2 years later. Valid or not valid? Valid, halal transaction. So he gives it to me and says that go and sell it in the market for $7,000 or $10,000. You will make extra, what? $2,000. Right? Is this valid? This is called, the ulama, they call it tawarruk, liquidation, tawarruk, and they have other names for it. Is it valid? Imam Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah said it is invalid, by the way. But is it invalid?
It's valid. No, they play with the money. Go sell the car, get the 5,000 rand, and give him the 5,000.
No, I sell it for, let's say, 7,000 or 8,000 or even 20,000. I make extra money, and then when the due comes for his loan, I'll pay him back. Maybe I'll pay him back now, or maybe I'll pay him back whenever we decided to. That's not a problem. But these two contracts are not tied together. Not tied together. This is basically, he sold me, and he told me that this is really worth it. Go and sell it, and you're going to make money, and it's going to save you from all the financial troubles you're going through. This is one of the help he provided. No problem. This is absolutely halal. Haram would be when the contracts are made, and you can see that the money is coming back to the same person and he's making more money, and it looks like they're trying to make it look like what? A business deal, but it is actually a riba. The bayla'ina. So this is not bayla'ina. What happened? Tawarruk is not bayla'ina. He sells me something which is expensive in credit, and I pay it to somebody else. Somebody else. Or maybe after 1 year he says, the previous owner comes and says, I will buy it from you for $20,000. Halal or haram? Halal? Halal. Why? Because this is not pre-planned. But why would he sell it to me for 5,000 in credit, and after 1 year he will say, I'll buy it from you for $20,000? Why would he do that?
Maybe you want to help him.
Or, that's very good. Some people, they're generous. The Prophet ﷺ bought, and then he returned the thing and paid and returned the thing to the seller. Yes. Or he figured out this car is $100,000. Big mistake. So let me buy it from him, 20. It will help the brother, and I will get a huge amount of money. Fine or no fine? Not fine. Absolutely fine. Halal, inshallah. We have to think. I always get confused in how it works. Did you think about this, Sheikh?
I can explain.
Explain.
So I need $100.
You need $100.
I have this phone. I sell it to you. I have this phone.
Very good.
Okay, so
You sell it to me for
$100.
$100. So I pay you $100.
With the condition that you have to buy it back from me, and that time you're gonna have to pay $130.
I have to pay $130? Then I'm the loser.
So I need $100, right?
No. I know. Okay.
Okay. So I have this phone. You give me $100 with the condition that you have to buy it back from me.
Buy what? You bought the phone.
But if I buy it back from you, then I'm losing money.
No, sorry, the other way. So
No, that's not going to work then. But by the way, this is a very good point. What if you have a contract like this? I sell it to him with the condition that he has to buy it back from me. I sell it to him with the condition that he has to sell it to Badr Marwan. Halal contract or haram? Why? Two contracts in one contract. This is called two contracts in one contract. In the same contract, you have two contracts. For example, the Prophet said, don't mix the loan with sale. What does it mean, loan with sale? For example, I will give you $100,000 loan if you buy the car from me. If you buy this car from me. So loan, sale cannot be in one contract. However, if you come and take $100,000 loan from me, one contract, and it has nothing to do with the selling the car separately to you, that's halal. But as a condition in the same contract, that's what is not. So it should be most likely from the loaner. the loaner will do something to the loanee. Go ahead.
Basically, like I'm selling you the phone, right? Then I get the $100. Then
Okay.
I'm gonna say, by the way, I also want to buy it, but on credit.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, he got it now. So the person who needs the money, he comes to me and he says, I need $100 loan. So here is this phone. I will sell it to you for $100. But then I will buy it back from you in credit for $200. He is going to buy it back from me for $200. So now he owes me 200 and I gave him 100. So I'm making $100 extra, and this is the bay'ina. This is one of them. There could be other tricks, by the way. Sometimes what they do is they put 3-4 people. You buy from him and he buys from you, and you buy, make it very complicated. So you're like, okay, it has to be selling, buying, brother. Okay, it has to be selling, buy. It has no. But actually, if you trace through, you figure out that first of all there is more than one contract in the same contract. From that angle, it is haram. And basically, somebody is trying to make money out of his loan, and that specific product is basically acting as what? As just a pawn. Going from one person to another person, so on and so forth. And this is one of the reason they say tawarruk is haram. Tawarruk is haram. They say that if this person sells you something for 5,000 and he tells you that you can go and sell it to somebody else for 10,000, they say this is darahem bi darahem dakhala bainahuma hariran. So now, you see, that's why, remember we said something. Sometimes between halal and haram there is some similarities. And that confuses us. We have to remove the confusion. Otherwise now we will call the tawarruk what? Haram. Because actually it is what it is. From that angle. I bought the thing from you with dirham, and then I sold and I made more money. Daraham bi daraham. So the ulama, they said that yes, when you have business, that's what you do. You buy something for $5,000, and then you sell it for $10,000. Halal or haram? Absolutely halal. Dakhala bainahuma sayyara. So I bought a sayyara for 5,000, I sold it for 10,000. Profit. This is halal. So now sometimes people started using that general rule of Abdullah ibn Abbas, and they tried to say, I see the same kind of scenario in this transaction is haram. Like, for example, when it comes to the siyam, we have a very famous statement from Abdullah ibn Abbas. He said what? And as far as I know, it is authentic to him, inshallah. He said that fasting does not break for anything that exits. Fasting breaks for anything that enters. There you go. So now anything enters the body, they said, you broke your fast. Like, you broke your fast. Like, you're wiping your bottom and one of the finger goes inside. So now, you broke your fast. Injection, you broke your fast. Believe me or not, spit, they said, it exited your mouth. Then you slapped it back. So it exited your body and you slapped it back, you broke your fast. And they just went crazy with this, statement, which Abdullah ibn Abbas didn't mean that. But sometimes, these statements confuse some of the huge scholars. They put them into delay because it's a scholar, they are at the end of the day human being. And then they, maybe land on a position by saying this is haram and that is haram and so on and so forth. So yes, there are some similarities. Like for example, we just spoke about bayus salaam and bayul ma'dum. There is some similarities. Nobody can deny this. There is a similarity. But we need to understand the distinction. Otherwise, bayus salaam will become bayul ma'dum, we say it's haram, or we will say bayul ma'dum is bayus salaam, it's halal. Right? And we have to make the distinction always. And this is not just for transaction, this is for anything in the religion. If there is a confusion between two things that look similar, we need to know what is the halal part of it and what is the haram part of it, and we have to make a very decisive decision, of course, with the kitab and the sunnah and the help of the scholars, inshallah. Yes, but
I have a question. Like this, if you see somebody selling same product, to like next person maybe $20, but he's charging me $40. And if you ask something and he give you an answer, like, I'll give you an specific. Like I went to back home, they were charging for visa if you take the visa. So a guy from a different country, he paid $50, and I had to pay $100. I asked the guy why $50 and $100, because he came from USA.
So, I mean, this is the vendors, they're setting up a rule. What can you do? This has nothing to do with like halal and haram in the sense. This has to do with, maybe justice. Be just, we tell the people, but I do not know the rule. Is there any specific rule because of which should do Allahu A'lam? I don't know. But for example, let's say that you are selling banana, and I'm saying banana. My bananas are more expensive because I claim that this is from a better farm and all the things are organic, whatever. So somebody comes and says, oh, you are selling banana. He is saying, how come your one is so expensive? Unfair. Not unfair. So we cannot also, we have to see why they are charging more. Sometimes they are unfair. Okay, then you don't deal with those vendors unless you have to.
Well, in that situation, you cannot come back. You have force.
Just get it then.
If you're talking about banana, it's like I'm buying the same banana. He's paying $20, I'm paying $40. But I have to have the banana. I cannot come back. I have to have the visa.
I didn't get the question.
Yes, it's the government. Like if the government is doing visa,
If the government makes the rule, what can you do? You cannot do anything about it. You just follow the government rule. You can complain about it, maybe, point out something, but nothing we can do. It's a government rule. For this nationality, it's free. For that nationality, it is $60. Looks unfair. But this is the rule. What can you do? The best is that don't go visit the country.
Assuming a vendor sells fruit for 20 to a person and 40 for another. Like his example. If a vendor is selling a fruit for one person it's $20, for another it's $40.
Right.
That's his example.
An example of what? Like what do we do about it?
the thing is that he's doing something zulum or something. Like it should be same product, same.
If it's the same product and he is putting more price, you can argue with it about him. But if you don't agree with the price, don't buy. Simple. Don't just buy. Yeah.
I've seen
It's a type of a zulm. That's true.
I've seen what he's saying. For example, the price is $40 for some items, but when some poor guy comes into the guy and he sells for $20 or $10, is he trying to sell it to the poor guy for a lower price so not to embarrass him or to make him feel bad? I think that's, it depends on which the situation, which you could sell something for less than what you normally sell it for.
I think that is helping, which is good.
Maybe, yeah.
But he mean like, it is $20 the price, but he feel this man came from America, tourist.
Yeah.
They said for him for.
They do that, yes. That is, they do that. They call it you got duped in the market, yeah. The thing is like, you ask the price, and they tell you the price and you have doubt about it, then don't buy it. Or if you bought it and then figure it out later on, trial and error that, So you got to be careful when you go to the market. That's basically how we learn. These people, they sometimes cheat from that angle. Is this money haram for them? I don't know. I cannot say it's haram. But it is definitely not a good practice. Definitely not a good practice. But the thing is like, you asked him the price and he told you the price. You agreed to pay him and you paid him. Then you figured out that he charged you arm and length high. He made a lot of profit. That's what he did. And, you feel like he has cheated you. That's the feeling I also get. But can we say that he did something haram? Unless he's lied, that wallah, this is the price in the whole market. Then he's liar. He lied. But if he didn't lie and said, this is my price, brother. You like it, buy it. You don't like it, don't buy it. I don't know.
For example, you are selling computers.
Yes, sir.
And Marwan, you need money.
Huh.
So you're going to
Marwan always needs money, Sheikh. He's wondering, Sheikh, not me. He said, why me? I am the target. All these brothers are It's because we love you. So, yeah.
So Marwan, you need money. You just need a loan.
No,
This is how the riba is coming. Okay? You need a loan. And and you said you sold computers. You have money and you have computers. So he buys this computer from you for $1,000.
$1,000, okay?
A new computer.
No.
After he took it, he's gonna buy this computer, but he's gonna give you the money after 1 year.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
After 1 year, he's gonna give you $1,000.
Right.
He's gonna tell you, okay, now the computer is mine. Do you want to buy it? You said to him, yes, I can buy it, but I will buy it for 700. This is 700. Take 700.
This is another setup for Baylaina. This is Baylaina.
So after 1 year, he took the 700 because he sold it to you now. This is the price now, current price, cash. And after 1 year, he's gonna pay you 1,000.
So
300 riba for 1 year. So it is money, dirham for dirham.
Yeah.
It's a dollar for dollar.
Right.
And there is a tiny laptop in it.
Right, in there between. None.
There is
No.
a laptop in fact.
Sheikh,
Instead of he give you,
uh,
instead of you give him
uh,
700. After 1 year, he need to pay to you 700 plus 300 riba,
right.
which it is riba.
Riba.
He's going to tell you, okay, I bought this computer from you now for 1,000, but I'm going to pay you the money after 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to buy now? You tell him, yes, I can buy it now, but for cash price for 700. So you give him the 700. After 1 year, he needs to give you back 1,000.
None. So the Sheikh is saying that this is another form of ina. That a person who needs the money, he comes and says that I will buy your computer for $1,000 in credit. Okay? Provided I sell it back to you for cash 700 less. If I agree to this as a condition in the same contract, then it is definitely riba. Aina, bayil aina. So he buys it for me for $1,000 in credit. He will give it to me after 1 year. In the same contract, he makes it a condition. What is the condition? Or I make it a condition that you sell it back to me cash 700. So he sells it back to me. I pay him 700. How much does he owe me? 1,000. How much did I pay? 700. So this 300 will be the riba. However, if he buys the computer from me for $1,000 in credit, okay, and he owns it, right? And after 2-3 days, has nothing to do with this contract whatsoever, and he comes and tells me, I want to sell it back to you for $500 or less, $600 or $200, and I buy it from him for $200 or say let's say $600. Is this going to be bayil aina? Yeah.
No, there was no contract condition that I have to do it. Later on I changed my mind to buy it back.
Excellent. So if the two contracts are a standalone contract, no condition whatsoever, right? A standalone contract, not something that was imagined, not something that were planned, not something that were indirectly, we were discussing and we said, that's what we are going to do to make it look like it is transaction. Of course, if this is there, then this is bayil aina. Because we can trick people, but we cannot trick Allah. Allah we cannot trick. But if it happens without any precondition, these two contracts are individual contracts and it is halal. Now, yes, I made money, but this is what? I made profit. I sold something with higher price and then I bought it back for lower price later on in an unrelated another transaction, and I get more money from this person who bought on credit. That's fine. That is not bay'il ina. Make sense, inshallah? Bay'il ina will be when it is in the same contract or it is planned. Okay, come back after 5 days. Or come back after some times. Planned. Then this is cannot cheat it. It's bay'il ina for sure. But without no string attached, absolutely independent contract, it is absolutely halal, because now we have two separate transactions. Yes, one person is making money, but that's how it is. In the business we make money. There is no problem, inshallah. Makes sense? Jazakumullah khairan. This is actually what the ulama, they give the answer, the example of bay'il ina, and this bay'il ina can be set up, as you can see, many ways. You can play around with the cash and credit, and you can set it up in many ways so that you will end up making money ultimately by actually giving loan to somebody, but you make it look like a bunch of transactions. You can fool people, but you cannot fool Allah. Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.